This whole problem's been hitting us for about a year now. I know it's hit my company personally pretty hard. I think it's hit most of everybody else's companies really hard for about a year. And about the last 6 months, it's really been ramped up a lot. So a lot of the shortages were first caused by capacitors,
Right.
specifically the MLCCs capacitor, and it kind of started there. And that's where the brush fire started. That's the way we refer to it. To kind of give a phrase that everyone can probably relate to, if this is DEFCON 1 at this point. It is a crisis that's hitting our industry, and a major crisis, I might add. It's now this brush fire is now kind of crossed over to other areas and other product lines and different parts and different things like that. But it all started with the capacitor area, basically, and that had several reasons, and we're going to
Yeah, we are going to dig into that, because shortage on capacitors.
Yeah.
Like, what world are we living in?
Who would have thunk it, right?
Dorothy, we are not in Kansas. I don't know.
I know.
It was like capacitors.
Yeah, exactly. There's MLCC, the multi-layer capacitors. There's 3 trillion that are produced every single year, and you would never think that would be what's hit the popcorn industry, basically. What is common, what is mostly used, and what is common. And it's that little fly in the ointment, though, that has really caused major problems for us, because now the popcorn stuff is hard to get.
Right.
And when that happens, now we got major problems. So we've really had to kind of take a step back and reevaluate things and change things and do a lot of different things, which I'm looking forward to talking about here. And but it has been a major problem. And I told a story. I'll start with this. I told a story at Altium Live this year, and when I was talking about this very subject, and I was telling them about a story. I was a volunteer at a Boy Scout camp several years ago, and I, one of the last few days that we were there, we decided to do something special for the kids. We set up a water slide.
Uh-huh.
We put some straw down on this hill, and we put a piece of plastic down, and we took a hose to the top and ran the water down and all that, and it's in the guys were going, "Hey, John, test it out." Okay, all right, fine. So I went down the water slide, and wouldn't you know it, I hit every single rock on the way down. All right? It was just unbelievable. So I went to a friend of mine who was actually working in the infirmary at that time, and I said, look, I really messed my back up, and I need you to clean it up. Sure, no problem. So he kind of worked on me and everything else, and it was like nothing, no thought about it, right? It was no worries. So and I went home a couple of days later, and I take my shirt off, and my wife looks at it and goes, "What is that?" Oh, nothing to worry about. I explained to her the story and everything that happened, and she goes, "No, that." Well, what this gentleman had done while he was cleaning me up was that he had left a message on my back. Basically, in iodine, he wrote, "I love you." All right? So I didn't just have to explain to my wife why I had scratches on my back, which was bad enough, but why I had a message that said, "I love you," and
how this relates to part shortage,
well,
I can't wait to get to this point.
The moral of the story is this. Number one is never trust your friend with iodine and Q-tips. Number one. Number two is you cannot prepare for something that you don't know exists and that you don't know about. And
so
I think that this is an area of the part shortages have now gotten so big that it has now impacted almost every company I've spoken to and
Right.
every person I've spoken to. They are aware of this problem,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a major problem.